This is Sunday, once again, but not a day of rest. At least over here, as everybody is on the move every day of the year. However, I guess it must be so, or we cannot expect to win. How was that for an introduction? Pretty dry. Well, let me see. No letter is complete without a few well-chosen words on the weather. Out here, however, it is not possible to adequately describe it. An American visiting London once remarked, England had no climate. It was all samples. Out here in France, that applies admirably with the further statement that we have all the samples in one day. At the present moment, I'm lying fully dressed in bed. It is the only way to keep warm. Last evening, I was out late with a party, so I'm supposed to be sleeping now. My bed consists of a waterproof ground sheet and a great coat laid out on the ground, sheltered by a square of canvas called a bivvy. The rain is pattering on the canvas not far away, a pleasant sound to us, for we know that Mr. Fritz is getting back what he gave us brave fellows at first. I can hear the whir of our aeroplanes as they pass overhead, the eyes of our guns. Beside me, trying to overcome the noise of the guns with his snoring, is George Maiden. He and I were out late the other night near the front line. Just as we got nicely into our work, the German guns opened up on us, and he and I, with a corporal, took refuge in a bomb store with bombs. No sooner were we in, than a Hun shell burst into the trench and blocked up the door. Only a small hole was left in the roof, and it was through that we climbed after Fritz had quieted down. It is very funny to hear him tell the story. Such is life on active service. Aye, many a Red Deer will remember it. Though it may not have been the hardest fight yet, I think it has struck Red Deer the hardest in one blow. What a victory, and at such a price. We can thank our lucky stars we came through without a wound. Poor Harold Mildrew, I cannot help but think of him. He was such a splendid fellow, at school too. And to have his life snapped off in the youth, it seems hard lines. Still, what is, must be, I suppose. If I were to walk outside, I could see nearby 3 graveyards where are buried the sons of France who fought so valiantly here a year ago. There they lie, their tombstone a rude wooden cross, but their monument to be raised in the page of history. What great sorrow these crosses represent. Dear old France, through it all may she rise supreme, a better and grander nation because of this trial by fire. Soon shall come our turn. May we not be found wanting in this greatest fight of all time. Hooray! Dinner has just come in, a regular feast today, for we had meat and potatoes. Grub is one of our big difficulties out here, and it is the subject of many a good joke and laugh. Isn't it peculiar how fat one gets on army grub? Yesterday, we had a great day for our aircraft. We had up observation balloons, and so did Fritz. At one time, I counted 28 of our planes in the air at one time. I also saw a fight in which we were unfortunate enough to lose one machine. But we even up for about 3 hours after 3 of our machines waltzed over enemy lines, and in spite of all the guns which opened on them, they brought down 2 of his balloons in flames. A very pretty but terrible sight. What could we do without our aircraft? But enough of this war talk. The really interesting news we cannot tell, for information is useful to the enemy. How's everybody in Red Deer? I suppose it is still on the map? The old boys have shown their sterling worth in the army. I've met quite a few out here. The other day, someone beckoned me, and whom should I see but Percy Legro. He's in the 102nd, and from what I can hear, he still causes lots of trouble to poor Fritz. This is too long now, so I will cease. Regards to all my friends, both in Red Deer and vicinity. I am your loving son, William McIlwraith.
One of the key battles were fought in Vimy Ridge, France. The Battle of Vimy was 4 days long that took place from April 9th to the 12th, 1917. During the Battle of Vimy Ridge, 3,598 Canadians died and over 7,000 wounded, risking their lives contributing to the peace and freedom we have today. The attack started at 5:30 a.m. April 9th, Easter morning. It was a bitter, cold wind, sleet, and snow. The first wave, 15,000 Canadians, struck hard, successfully capturing front line. 3 days later, they ran the Germans right off the ridge, having captured the main heights. We remember Vimy Ridge because it was a major victory for the Allied nations and a big step for Canada being known for a strong and loyal country.
Vimy Ridge Memorial is a memorial site in Arras, France, dedicated to the Canadians who fought in World War I in the Battle of Vimy Ridge. This site is located on Hill 145, the highest and most important part of the ridge, and may be what propelled the Canadian soldiers to victory to end World War I. There are 11,285 names engraved on the memorial to help us remember all the soldiers who fought and helped make Canada what the place it is today. Next, April 2017 marks the 100th anniversary of the end of the Battle of Vimy Ridge and celebrates how Canada came together as a nation to help others.